Good morning. Welcome to my Louise Hay Trust Life presentation with EFT to help us allow that trusting life to come in. So I love what she says here about trust life, because there's so many things in our world right now. Wherever you are in the world, this is going to be applicable, because there's so many things that are up in the air that we're not quite sure. Who do we trust? What do we trust? What do we trust? So I'm here to invite us each, myself included, to trust ourselves. Trust this inner knowing, trust this gut feeling. Yes, do our research, figure things out, get some information. Take all that information inside. Take it inside. Breathe with it. In my work with Dr. Kim Duramo, she says, do a heavy light test as I think about going in this direction. So I think in my mind when I'm trying to figure out what I trust, what I want to do, what I want to think about, what information I want to use and utilize in my life, then we can do this heavy light test. So think about a decision that you're trying to make. In your mind, make one of the decisions. Breathe into yourself and feel, does that feel heavy or does that feel light? Then, in your mind, make the other decision. And breathe into yourself and go, does that feel heavy or does that feel light? They're going to feel a little bit different. The one that is the light one is probably the right path for you in this moment. Now, an hour or two later, that path might change a bit, because you might go down this path long enough to learn something, and then all of a sudden the path feels like, okay, well, now this isn't the right thing anymore, because you've gone down that path enough to know and to learn some certain things, and now the path is going to change again. And this is why it's so important to be connected with our own bodies, with our own connection to the universe in some manner that informs us. And so when we can do that, I remember doing that a lot between marriages. I dated a fair bit, and I started to understand that even though I was dating this person that I thought perhaps was going to be a lifelong connection, and then we would get to the spot where it was like, oh, okay, now I can no longer go any further in this relationship. It didn't mean that the first part of that path was not the correct place to be. It absolutely was the correct place to be, because both that other person and I learned a lot of things in that path. But then we got to the end of that path, and now we needed to diverge for both of our practices, for our benefits. But it doesn't mean that our paths are not the right ones. And this is why it's so critical that we have a personal relationship with ourself and a personal trust in ourself. And in our own ability to receive messages from a universe that I'm here to help you, to suggest to you is friendly and really understands you. So with Louise, she says, I am open and receptive to all good. And she has this little exercise. She says, I'm going to tell you it first, and then I'm not going to stand up because you'll get a shot of my belly button. Stand up with your arms outstretched and say, I am open and receptive to all good. So let's give that a whirl. I am open and receptive to all good. How does that feel? Did it feel a little hokey? Did it feel empowering? Did it feel rejuvenating? Now, look into the mirror and say it again with more feeling. I'm going to use my phone here, my camera, as my mirror, because I am looking in my eyes. Pick up a mirror or look in your eyes, or in some way practice this later. I am open and receptive to receiving all good. As I said that and looked in my own eyes, I felt an opening space, an expansion a bit in my lower dantian here, my navel area. I'm not quite sure why, but I just felt an expansion there. I am open and receptive to receiving all good. So as we feel that expansion, we feel that receiving of all good, do you feel like hiding in that? Here's what Louise says. What kind of feelings come up for you? Do you feel liberating and joyous? That's part of what came up for me. Or do you feel like hiding? I'm not sure what that might mean, But just observe what you feel when you practice those things, because you'll have the information for you. Breathe deeply and say again, I am open and receptive to, and now whatever you'd like to add to that. I am open and receptive to healing. I am open and receptive to forgiveness. I'm open and receptive to receiving love. I'm open and receptive to learning. Anything that comes up for you is going to be the right thing for you. She says, do this exercise every morning. It is a wonderfully symbolic gesture that may increase your prosperity consciousness and bring more good into your life. Perhaps you have something physical that needs to heal, that you would like to heal. Perhaps you've got some emotional issues that you'd like to find some balance in. As we breathe in and breathe out, and breathe in emotion of joy and happiness, and breathe in that trust life idea that I can be receptive and open to all good. And as we breathe in these ideas and breathe in these feelings, our bodies start to settle. And then when our bodies are settled by this deep breath and this bringing in of all good, then our brain is open more, and we can get more instruction from the universe, from our own inner knowing, from whatever it is that you feel you receive instruction from, as to how to act, how to access information, how to change things, how to create different actions so that we become more balanced, so that the activities and the goals that we have for our life can be manifest if they are for our highest good. I hope that makes some sense. I love you. Namaste means the light in me sees the light in you. And as we each travel this journey, and we're all on our own journeys, as we each travel these journeys of life that we're on, as we can see each other in love and kindness and happiness and joy and unconditional love, no matter what our decisions are with each other, as we can see each other in that light, we empower each other to rise to our own personal magnitude. As Louise says, to become more of who we already are. Namaste. I love you.